Hello, YouTube! Welcome. We are the Nerdy Tribunal, where a bunch of nerds talk about comics and other nerdy stuff. Today, we're going to do a breakdown of the Easter eggs in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Again, there's spoilers, so go and watch the entire movie till the end, and then come back and watch our video.
All right, so everyone knows Guardians of the Galaxy, probably one of the biggest Easter egg loaded MCU movies ever, and Volume 2 is probably even crazier than the first one. And once again, Howard the Duck comes back, just kind of as a fun drunken self drinking in his weird world there. I can't remember what
he made a little quip about once you go duck you don't kind of quit it. So something to the lines of that.
He's
I
so
probably have
dirty.
to watch it again. Yeah, but it's a common thing about Howard Duck is he's consistently drinking. So
Yep.
nice to see his old self back again.
Yeah, and one of his kind of, I don't want, maybe counterparts, but you don't really see him in the actual movie. But in the credits, you see Cosmo, kind of as another fun thing, that little dog in his spacesuit.
Well, I think Cosmo is still with the Collector from
Probably, yeah.
the previous movie. So because he was at the side after entire place blew up. So
Yeah.
I think he's still with them. But since you mentioned the ending credits, there was a little part where you saw Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster
Yeah.
dancing. So
The
from
brother of Collector, so
Yeah,
kind
so-
of related there.
So from what we heard, that they might have filmed the scene with him there, but from the looks of it, got cut from the final cut of the movie. So there's scenes of him in Guardians somewhere on the cutting floor.
I'm kind of curious about that, because, he's going to be in Thor, and I wonder if it somehow would have related to Thor Ragnarok coming later this fall. And it's kind of interesting. I wonder if it would have been a post-credit scene, or if it was maybe a quick little thing in the actual movie,
Well-
or this is just for fun right at the end there.
It's probably for fun, and you know what, they probably could add it when they were doing when Yondu and Rocket was doing the space jumps through.
Ah,
They
yeah.
could have easily kind of threw him in there.
Which kind of makes sense, because, if they did that, it would have kind of, maybe it might have drawn too much away from the movie if it's some bigger star kind of thing. But you see someone, one, during the space jump, you kind of see a species kind of that looks like Korg.
Yeah, like the Cronin race that
Yeah.
you last saw in Thor: Dark World, where kind of he got smashed to pieces by
Yeah.
Thor himself. So
Right at the beginning of the movie, and
Yeah.
he's kind of rumored to be in Ragnarok later on, Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
And I think the director might be playing him, right?
apparently that's the rumor. But
Yeah.
so once again, this might not be Korg, but it looks like someone from the Cronin race.
Yeah, they'll have this stony kind of look, and I think they were gray in here, but yeah, it kind of looks like
Kind
them
of looks like a
battling.
thing
Yeah, it does look like
with
the
some
thing.
armor on. So
And I wonder if maybe they didn't keep him yellow because of the thing.
makes sense
Yeah,
because
right?
you want to differentiate, especially since Marvel doesn't have the Fantastic Four. So
And Fox kind of had some interesting fun with that character.
yeah, so we'll just leave that at that.
Yeah, so most of those are kind of fun little Easter eggs, and in this movie, it's a lot of old references to, I guess, Peter Quill's Earth stuff. So in the movie, I guess they Ego, Peter Quill's dad, broke his Walkman. So at the end of the movie, he actually finally gets a Zune
From
And-
Craiglin. Yeah,
from Craiglin, and it's kind of funny because I think the majority of the people, especially the younger viewers, do not know what a Zune is. Because how many people know what a Zune is?
well, I think the funnier fact is they said they picked it out of the trash, right? So
Yeah,
most people thought, I guess, Zune wasn't the best piece of music player out there. So it's kind of funny how but they did mention 300 songs. So
yeah.
I
And
guess,
Quill loved it.
Yeah, so
because it was 300 songs.
So we gotta see what the playlist is on there. They did play one song from the Zune, but it's nice to see how far the music goes in that 300 list of songs. But yeah, speaking about the past, one kind of major cameo was David Hasselhoff.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's- they first started talking about Hasselhoff and Knight Rider and all that, we kind of thought it was just maybe just an image of him, and
He had the picture in his wallet.
a picture of his wallet, and they're just kind of talking about him. And then I did not expect at all that he was going to be in the movie more than he was actually in it. I think it was probably a good 2 minutes, and
Maybe
it's
not that long,
maybe.
but it's just the fact that it was funny to see because I guess there was no mention of him at
Yeah.
all, and you know there I guess there was foreshadowing to begin with, but I guess everyone was surprised the fact that they actually got David Hasselhoff to be part of the movie.
Yeah, he had like significant amount of lines.
Yes,
Like he actually made real dialogue, and he was like screaming at Quill, and it's one of the funniest things I've seen.
So going from there, kind of on the topic of having people as cameos and whatnot, we saw bits like we know Sylvester Stallone was in the movie, but when you watch the movie, then you find out that he was actually playing Starhawk, one of the original members of the Guardians. For those that aren't big comic fans, the first time you see him with one of the other original Guardians of the Galaxy, Martinex, which was actually played by Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, if people don't remember him, he's not in a lot of things, but he used to be in Smallville as Lex
Lex
Luthor.
Luthor.
So he kind of jumped to Marvel. So
Yeah, so
smart choice.
yeah, so you like if you look at him, you technically cannot know it's him, but if you recognize his voice, then you can tell that it's him. But the bigger picture here is the fact that near the end of the movie, you see a lot more original members as well. It's like Charlie 27, played by Ving Rhames. You got the female Starhawk, played by Michelle Yeoh, and then even at the end credits, you see Mainframe, which was
Mainframe.
voiced by Miley Cyrus of
Miley
all people,
Cyrus.
which is kind of shocking.
It's kind of random.
Yeah.
But-
So there's a lot of the original team there, not the full team, but a lot of the members. So once again, can maybe lead to something in the future with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so one of these original Guardians of the Galaxy, you see all these characters, but one character who isn't really part of the Guardians, he was kind of maybe cut from the movie, is Nathan Fillion, who was rumored as or to be Wonder Man. That would have been kind of nice to see, but I kind of have a feeling like maybe Marvel has a future plan for Wonder Man. Maybe.
Well, the thing is, we've seen in the past with movie posters
Yeah.
that Nathan Fillion was named after Wonder Man's real name, Simon
Yes.
Williams, which was like movie posters. Because in the comics, Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man, was an actor, a very well known one. So to see that he was playing an actor with Simon Williams in the movie posters kind of foreshadowed that maybe we'll eventually have a role. Once again, there was rumors that he did film some scenes for Guardians, but apparently they were cut as well.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future.
Well, I wonder if like maybe they've finally thought that Wonder Man might be a good fit for a future movie, maybe some sort of team up, obviously not for his own. So maybe Nathan Fillion might not be Wonder Man, and it's kind of like write another actor for it, because he can be fairly interesting, like for certain story purposes, right? So I wonder why, because he's been cut for this one, and it's interesting why they would do that.
We'll have to see because I think he has the demeanor to play Simon Williams. I think the biggest thing is maybe he's not big and muscular like how
Yeah.
Wonder Man should be, but Wonder Man was always he was an Avenger. He definitely has ties to the cosmic side of the MCU
Yeah.
as well. I mean like the 616 comic universe. So it'll be nice to see where he kind of fits in the future if he does have a place in the MCU.
Yeah, because I think he's fairly related to Captain Marvel in story-wise.
I think
Story-wise, so I can see him maybe showing up in that, or that's why I think there's certain future plans where he could be a part of it.
Yeah, that would be great to see. Talking about the future of the kind of the cosmic universe of MCU, you can see during the space jump with the ship, and in the end credits, you see Stan Lee with the Watchers actually, which was kind of shocking
Yeah.
because I think most people believe that maybe Marvel didn't have the rights to him
Yeah.
because the Watchers are kind of big in the Fantastic Four universe.
Well, I think it's when Marvel made the deal to get Ego from Fox for a Teenage Negasonic Warhead, because she was in Deadpool.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's a chance they would have gotten the Watcher back, because that's the only thing that makes sense, right? It doesn't seem like Fox has proper, like, actual plans to do any real cosmic stories with the Fantastic Four. So maybe they kind of gave Marvel a bunch of cosmic characters back, including the Watchers.
Which it could be true for sure, but I think the biggest takeaway from here is to see Stan Lee with the Watchers. There was always has been that kind of fan theory that Stan Lee, being in all the Marvel movies, was a Watcher, and to kind of see him with the Watchers talking about what he saw, especially making reference to the FedEx delivery, which ties into Civil War. It's kind of like, is he a Watcher? Is he maybe hired by the Watchers? Where does he kind of stand in the cosmic universe part, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just kind of a fun thing. I don't think really see the Watchers being anything in the future, at least in the near future. It's just kind of a fun fan theory that, it makes you kind of happy that Marvel hears these things and wants to use it.
Okay, and I think last but not least, the one of the maybe more, maybe one Easter egg that may be missed by a lot of people, when Ego was kind of showing Peter, the cosmos, he kind of Peter kind of whispered eternity. So seeing how his eyes was showing kind of the galaxy, is this him kind of looking at maybe what the future holds, or was he making reference to a Marvel 616 universe cosmic being eternity herself?
Yes, and she has that. The way she looks is, it looks like she's the stars, the galaxy, the universe. So and in his eyes, that's how it looks. So it's one of those things where, as a comic book fan, you just overthink it and you don't know if it's actually the character or if maybe he's looking into the future and seeing and knowing these things.
Yeah, but it's also interesting to see, like, because they are trying to build the universe, the cosmic universe. So definitely being an integral part of it, it'll be cool to see her in the future.
And maybe talking about the future and Star-Lord seeing these things, it might lead to probably the biggest thing is the post-credit scene of Adam Warlock and Aisha, one of the Sovereign, who was defeated by the Guardians, wants to defeat them. So she is trying to make the perfect being, and at the end you see this pod, which she names Adam, and she calls him, which is another name that he goes by. And it's a setup for, Volume 3.
Yeah, because there is a lot of talks of Adam Warlock himself being featured in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially with Volume 3 happening sooner than later. So, being a big part of the Infinity Wars and whatnot, with speculation, probably not in the first Infinity movie, but it seems like maybe he'll be more prevalent and play a bigger role in the second one.
I'm wondering about that because it seems like the way they're setting it up, maybe he's a big part of Volume 3, and they're gonna stray away from that Thanos and Adam Warlock storyline. I guess the how tied in they are with the Infinity Gauntlet, and with the big number of cast members and the characters in Infinity Wars, it might be a little much to add in a character that no one's seen.
Well, with the rumors of how they're trying to film it, maybe, maybe a lot more of the Marvel MCU players won't be there in the second part of the movie.
Maybe.
So bringing someone of his caliber in to kind of fight this mass powerhouse that can't be stopped by just mere superheroes, you might need someone from the cosmic level, like Adam Warlock, to step in. Because once again, we don't know what his powers will be, what he can do, but from the looks of it, if he's bred to be the perfect male human being, or alien being, he might have those powers to be able to stop Thanos.
Do you think that would kind of cheapen the storyline though? Just throwing in a character that's never been introduced, who is so powerful that can stop the Mad Titan, who has been set up since 2010, 2011, since the first Avengers movie.
Well, you know, he might be powerful, maybe not as powerful as Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. You know, maybe he brings something to the table that can help in a team stop him, but I don't think he'll be powerful enough to stop him himself.
All right, cool. So this brings us to the end of our episode. So I want to thank everyone for listening. If you guys have any opinions or speculation that you've heard of on your own, please comment below. If you like what we did, please subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks.